Hey guys, Rolando Rodriguez here with xgains.com. We've got workouts that work, eats to satisfy, and everything else you need to reach your lifestyle goals. Video concerning what to do once your body has become fat adapted. As many of you may already know, my wife and I are in the middle of running a keto challenge for the month of August with the goal of trying to get into ketosis. Now, this challenge was a 3-week challenge, and the reason it is a 3-week challenge is, for the most part, people who stick to 50 grams of carbs a day or under can become fat adapted in 3 weeks. That being said, some of the people in the group will not achieve ketosis or becoming fat adapted within 3 weeks, but will just be starting to become fat adapted. Regardless, this video is concerning what you do once you realize that you've become fat adapted, and the way that you can do that without having to pee on ketone strips or checking your blood levels for the ketones in or breathing in some other device is by listening and watching your body. If you are doing it right, if you start a low-carb, high-fat diet, within the first week to week and a half to 2 weeks, you are going to experience the carb flu, which means you are going to be lethargic, you're going to have headaches. But after the carb flu passes, if you continue to push through it and you continue to keep your carb intake 50 grams or less, and you are eating 60 to 80% of your calories from fat, and assuming you're getting enough calories to keep you energized, you will come out of the other end of that carb flu feeling much better. And there will be a point where you start to feel less bloated, you will have more energy throughout the day, you won't start feeling sluggish around 2 p.m., and you will notice that you go a lot longer without feeling hungry between meals, and you might even be able to skip a meal. If all this is happening to you and you're continuing to keep your carb intake 50 grams or less a day and you feel fantastic, then that most likely means that you've become fat adapted. At the end of this, whenever that is for you, 3 weeks, 2 months, whatever the case may be, what do we do in terms of eating? There's 2 groups. There's the group that is continuing to work towards their goal. If that group feels great, change nothing. If you're continuing to lose the weight, you're the body fat, and continuing to lean up, and you're closer to your goal, but not there yet, continue to do the low-carb, high-fat approach until you reach your goal. Once you reach your goal, assuming that you've been following a ketogenic diet for at least 3 weeks, then I suggest for those people who want to reintroduce carbs and who don't really have an issue with how carbs make them feel, is to start slow. You introduce 25 grams more of carbs a day for the first 2 weeks, and you see what happens. You see if you gain some fat, you see if you start to feel bloated, you see if you start to feel inflammation again. After those 2 weeks, if you feel great, then you add another 25. So if you started at 50, you do 75 for 2 weeks, you feel great, you haven't gained any really fat, or your body's composition hasn't started to change, you add another 25. So now you're to 100. Then you gauge yourself for another 2 weeks. And if your body can handle that, great, you go up to 125. The goal is to try to get up to 150 or less, is what I would suggest, specifically if you want to maintain your body's composition. Now, if you get up to 125 and you start to realize that you're having side effects, meaning you're getting hungrier more often, inflammation, some grogginess in the middle of the day, or if you start to gain weight, or if you just don't feel as good as you did on less carbs, then what I want you to do is back off. Reduce your carb intake by 25 the following week and see how you feel again. Because the whole point of following a ketogenic, low-carb, high-fat approach is to get your body used to burning fat as fuel so it can become proficient and efficient at doing so. And when it does, you can eat and introduce some more carbs, because your body will push the carbs through and then immediately go right back into fat burning. Now, if you haven't reached your goal, don't do this. If you're kicking on all cylinders and going towards your goal via a low-carb, high-fat diet, stick to it. Don't change anything, because everything in this world works until it doesn't. And if it's continuing to work, let's keep at it. That's it for now. This is Rolando Rodriguez with xgains.com. Let me know if you got any questions or comments down below. Please like, subscribe, and share the channel if you haven't done so already. I greatly appreciate it. The website is x-, that's the symbol, not the word, gains.com. And I hope you guys have a fantastic day. Peace.